Well, well, well. That wasn't very fun. That game that we just watched, one team was completely overmatched. The home team was everything that they were said that they were going to be. They handled it from beginning to end. Oh wait, that's the college football playoff where every away team today just absolutely looked discombobulated and the home teams dominated and social media was a blur. Oh, wait a minute. That was also the game tonight in San Antonio because the San Antonio Spurs pretty much dominated this one from the jump against the Trailblazers, grabbing the 114-98 victory over your Portland Trailblazers. Welcome into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here, and his bad analogies and metaphors as well. Joining me is Brenden Slaughter. If you want to get at us, you can hit us up on social at Chris J. Burkhardt and B_slot, respectively. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio 620. We'll pop right up. You can join the chat there. And, last but certainly not least, 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. And Brenden, I'm going to bring you in here right off the jump here because I'm going to tell you what. If the gut's telling me there's a lot of people listening to the fifth quarter while they're out there Christmas shopping. Because
it's insane.
I did the pregame show. And then I'm like, I'm going to go do some shopping. And before the game starts, and I went to Washington Square Mall. We're right down the street. And I pretty much walked in. Like, the Grandpa Simpsons gif, right? Where he like walks into the door, hangs his hat up, spins a circle, grabs his hat, and walks right back out because he sees Bart. Great episode, by the way. That's how I felt. I was kind of.
It is an awesome episode.
I walked. I walked into the mall and went, oh yeah. I was going there for one specific store. I can't say it because children could be listening, right? And I don't want to spoil Christmas. But I was going for one specific store, and then I was like, I'm inside the mall, and there is a line to get into a store. Like, what are we doing here? This is insanity. Yeah, don't feed me that nonsense that the economy is failing because the mall says otherwise. Holy smokes. It was giving me anxiety, Brenden. I could feel my heart racing, and I was like, yep, I'm just going to head back to the studio and grab some food. Then it was disappointing because I got here, and Brenden had a Wingstop. I didn't even get invited because I was gone. We need to.
In all fairness.
We need to coordinate better. But no, the Blazers.
In all fairness, as soon as Chris finished Blazers game day, comes in and is like, I'll see you in a bit, Brenden.
Hey,
that was it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, no dinner plans, no nothing.
No, I got shopping to do, man. It's that time of year.
Hey, I respect.
And my schedule gets so crazy. This is like the first day I actually had to go do anything. So, yeah, wild. So a lot of people probably listening to the fifth quarter while they're out shopping. I know that's what they're doing, so we appreciate you for that. But, man, the Blazers in this one, I was hoping it'd be a close game considering last time they played, the Spurs won by just 2 points. It was a 118-116 victory at Moda on December 13th. So you flash forward almost, 8 days later, and you're like, okay, I think the Blazers can do it. They just got to win over the Nuggets, and then they go into San Antonio and they kind of lay this egg. And that is where this team can be so frustrating, man. One night they're good enough to beat the Denver Nuggets, who, yes, they have holes in their game, but that's a championship team, right? A team that plans to get into the playoffs. Maybe they're probably going to be buyers at the deadline to see what they can do with that roster to shore it up. But that's a good team. And you get a win over them, and then you go into San Antonio and you drop an egg. Blazers in this one failed to score more than 30 points in any single quarter. Now, to be fair, they held the Spurs to under 30 in 3 of those 4 quarters as well. So defense had its moments, but at the end of the day, San Antonio still scored 114 points, so it's not like their offense was absolutely struggling, right? As for the Blazers, a 20 spot in the first quarter just ain't going to do it in today's NBA. Now, let's take a look at the box score real quick, and we'll start with the Spurs. And usually I just go all the way down. You guys know me. This player. Now, we don't need to do that because there's one player to talk about in this one, and that's Victor Wembanyama. 30 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Good stat line, right? You're like, okay, Chris, that's normal, though. People do. Yeah, he had 10 blocked shots in this one. He darn near had a triple-double in points, blocks, and assists. I mean, 10 blocks is absolute insanity. The Blazers just kept attacking him, too. It was just Groundhog's Day over and over again. Wasn't the best decision-making, something Chauncey kind of talked about in this post-game press conference about attacking the rim and the decisions they were making, and it just wasn't smart. Now, of course, Jeremy Sohan had 10 points. Harrison Barnes chipped in 9. Chris Paul played a whole game in this one, didn't get ejected, had 6 points, 9 assists, so good for him. And Devin Vassell had 11 as well. Looking at the Blazers side of things, one thing stands out, and that is just another rough game for Jeremy Grant. 2 of 12 shooting, just 5 points, and this is a guy that you need to rely on to score. That's what he's there for. Couldn't get it going tonight. Tamani Kamara as well, 0 for 3, puts up an O spot. He does not do that very often. 7 points, 3 assists. Now, granted, he doesn't fill up the box score with points anyway, but you're usually good for a bucket or two from him. And I feel like towards the end of the game, he did look a little gassed. Like, he goes all out on defense, and he looked tired by the end of it. 14 points, 8 rebounds from DeAndre Ayton, 18 points for Anthony Simons. Again, I was hoping that performance against the Nuggets would have, spurred him forward to start getting those double-doubles again, but no, just 6 assists in this one. Shaedon Sharpe did have 25 points on 11 of 16 shooting, so I will take that performance from him all day long. Denny Avdia had his first bad game in a very long time, because as Kevin Calabro said on the TV side of things today, he's been on a heater, and he has been, but no, tonight just 7 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. So he still found ways to try to get involved, despite the fact that the shot wasn't falling. And then Scoot Henderson, 12 points, 4 assists. 12 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. So I'd still like to get those assist numbers up. I like the fact that the little guy's rebounding, right? But for the point guard, and who everyone said he's a flashy passer and he can do crazy things, the passes, man, they're just not there. And then Donovan Clingan, he only played 12 minutes in this one. He was 3 of 4 from the floor. He had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and a single block shot. Now, that knee is obviously bothering him. Maybe not bothering him, but he's shaking off the rust from that knee injury, and they don't want to go too hard too fast. But this is the bad part about the roster being healthy, right? Is now he's getting 13 minutes a night. And we've talked about this ad nauseum, but this is why you got to figure out what's going on with this roster and make the right moves, because you need to just open up that starting spot for Donovan Clingan. He needs to get those 20-plus a night. I don't care if he gets gassed. That's going to help his cardio, I promise you. And he needs to be on the floor more, because even that, in a short amount of minutes, a 7.6 rebounds and a block, I mean, you double that to 24 minutes, right? And so he's on pace for 14, 12, and 2. I like that. I like that a lot. And so I want to see him on the court. I did say the keys to the game. I wanted to see the Blazers be really, really aggressive on the glass, especially on the offensive boards. Well, here's the deal. They lost that rebound battle to San Antonio tonight, 49-44. They did get 11 offensive boards, but San Antonio did get 12. And again, we were talking about, getting those easy second chance points. San Antonio had 16 of them. Portland did have 11, but again, they were out-dueled there. San Antonio had 58 points in the paint to 44 from the Blazers, 48 bench points as well for San Antonio, eclipsing the 32 by the Blazers bench. So you start to see why they got out ahead in this one. And then the free throw discrepancy. San Antonio, 16 of 18 on the night. Portland, just 6 of 9 from the free throw stripe. I mean, Victor Wembanyama wasn't fouling. He was just blocking shots. This is the 5th quarter here. We're going to breeze through this one. We got some Seattle Kraken hockey to get to, so get in on the conversation with me if you'd like. 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. YouTube.com, type in Rip City Radio 620. The conversation will pop right up. And, of course, you can hit us up on social, Chris J. Burkhardt, B_slot. Those are the names. And your update from Columbus, Ohio State, up 42-10 with 5 minutes left. It looks like it's going to be a January 1st rematch at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena between your Oregon Ducks and the Ohio State Buckeyes in the college football playoffs. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. That sounds pretty fun. Chris Burkhardt here with Brenden Slaughter. This is the 5th quarter presented by Coors Light. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to give you our shot of the night and our drive of the night. Still going to hear from Coach Billups, hand out a game ball, do all the like here, all on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
It's time for the fifth quarter shot of the night on your home of the Portland Trailblazers, 620 Rip City Radio.
Out to Sharp with 4 to shoot. Jab step back, deep three. Buries it to beat the shot clock.
It's time for the fifth quarter drive of the night on your home of the Portland Trailblazers, 620 Rip City Radio.
Chris Paul missed the shot, rebound Simons. He brings it across the timeline. Now he attacks and drives to the rim, dunks it in the face of Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, man. Update from Columbus. Tennessee making it a game.
Really?
42-16 with 2 minutes left. Oh, make that 42-17. The comeback is on. Tell you what, man. My college football buddies are just cracking up because they're like, SEC fan has been very vocal all day long about how, oh, Alabama and Ole Miss were more deserving than you because they got destroyed. But they're being pretty quiet about their SEC team, Tennessee. Get impressive. He had 30 points and 10 block shots, 7 assists in just 29 minutes of action. I mean, that's pretty impressive stuff. The Blazers, they just got to figure out how to get everyone going at the same time, man. This is the thing. The roster is not talent rich enough. Like it's deep with players that we all like see play. I love Robert Williams and Klingon, and I know fans who love Chris Murray and Reith and Ryan Repair, but it's just not deep enough with talent to compete every single night. So you have to have your best scorers show out. So when you're starting forwards combined for 5 points, it's going to be a rough night for the Trailblazers, right? Toumani Camara, 0 points. Jeremy Grant, 5. So you got to figure out ways to get things going, get the offense rolling. And that's not the offense looked good in that game against Denver, right? You look at that game, and every single starter was in double figures. Toumani Camara and Jeremy Grant, who combined for 5 points tonight, combined for 27 points on that night, right? DeAndre Ayton had 15. Ant and Shea combined to drop 55. So you had some good scoring output, right? And tonight it just wasn't there. Again, a lot of that was Vic just locking down the paint. But at the same time, if he's locking down the paint, stop going into it. Find ways to get out, get into the mid-range, get into the three-point range. Granted, they took a lot of shots from the three-point range, 43 of them tonight, and some of them were good shots. They just didn't fall. But when the three-point shot's not working and you got, a guy in the middle who's not going to let you get a shot up, like, what do you do? What do you do? And the Blazers just don't have that guy who's just going to put the team on his back yet, man. That's the tough part right here. I would hope Shea turns into that guy. And I think we've wanted to be that guy for a long time, but he hasn't played like a guy who's wanting to put the team on his back either. So it just puts you into weird circumstances where you struggle a little bit, a team gets out ahead of you, and then you just don't have the horses to catch back up. I think that's what tonight was. And then defensively, I thought the team looked lethargic and tired, especially there in that second half, man. There wasn't any getting back. San Antonio was getting stops and then getting out in transition for what felt just like easy bucket after easy bucket. So those are, yeah. 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 Got Victory Cigars literally going on as Brenden chimes in. Ohio smoke of the cigar. Here's the thing. That's
Is that like a thing? Like, can you do that?
I don't know if that's a thing.
Is that legal? I'm going to start that. I mean, it's legal, obviously, for a over 20,
Yes.
I mean, whatever age it is.
18.
But
here's the deal. Hey, why you out
But
here?
I love it.
You still got at least 3 more games to win.
Yeah.
Two, whatever it is. Yeah, like why?
I feel like it kind of dilutes Joe Burrow, who was the OG cigar post-college football playoff national championship. Like, Joe Burrow with that.
Bro, hey, Joe Burrow popped a cigar in the locker room after winning a national championship.
Yep.
He didn't put a cigar to his lip on the sideline after winning a first-round playoff game.
That's what I'm saying. I have
boy.
issues with this, but you know what?
Boy.
Ohio State gonna Ohio State. Sorry, Chris. That just really caught my eye.
That's all right. I'm glad they got it all out of their system before Jordan Birch and Dylan Gabriel pop them in the mouth in Pasadena. Oh, I can't wait. I'm also very, very scared, Brenden. I'm a Duck fan. I know how this thing happens. As we all laughed when Mario Cristobal left, and my buddies were we do a college football podcast, and we were kind of going ahead and looking ahead through the season. Like, how's Miami going to do? I'm like, they're going to have that one Mario Cristobal game that they shouldn't lose, and they lose. Hello, Syracuse. There it was. Like, it just happens. So I've just been kind of bred as a Duck fan that game's going to happen. And now I go undefeated into the Rose Bowl against Ohio State. Oh gosh, I don't like the sound of that. I was in the marching band when at the Rose Bowl against Ohio State, where I got slapped in the face by Jim Tressel because I'm in the marching band in Oregon, and then he makes sure to start his press conference, or not press conference, on the podium there, center field, with a thanks to the best damn band in the land for coming, and just slap the Oregon marching band in the face while you're at it, you jerk. Gosh, I really hope Dan Lanning takes it to him for a second time this season. This is the fifth quarter, even though we're talking college football, because college football is awesome too. So is the NBA. Sports are great. But if you want to join the conversation, youtube.com is one way to do it. Or, of course, 503-248-0620 is the other. We're going to take our final break of the show. When we come back, we're going to head to the coach's corner, hear what Coach Billups had to say. I'm going to hand out a game ball. And then for all you hockey fans, we're going to send you over to the Kraken game already in progress. Chris Burkhardt here with you. The fifth quarter presented by Coors Light rolls on after the break right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
For the latest on tonight's game, we head to the Coach's Corner with Chauncey Billups.
But I thought defensively we were good. You know, we only scored 20, but we gave up 25 in the quarter. And then, the first, the second quarter, you know, I had caught a timeout about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half. I just kind of seen the turn a little bit, but they had 20 points in the quarter at that time. Boom, called timeout, try to settle us down. You know, let's get out of this quarter. Let's get to halftime, doing okay. And then boom, they had 15 points in that little span. Open the game up a little bit. We turn it over, bad shot, boom. But we just, you know, we knew the most important part of playing against this team is obviously your rim decisions. And, you know, the kid blocks 10 shots in the game and altered I don't know how many. You know, he is that special. But I think when you pay attention to it, you make better decisions. You know, and we struggle. We really, really struggle with that today. I was surprised by it because we've been getting so much better at it. And that cost us. You know, it did cost us. I don't think we played poorly in the second half, by and large, but we couldn't play well enough, you know, and we could never get over the hump scoring the ball.
I have to ask if you guys have been practicing lobs in practice as of late, and we saw time up tonight.
Yeah, we have. We've spent some time on working on the relationship between the guards and the bigs. You know, actually setting screens. You know, I feel like our team, we need screens. You know, our point guards need screens to get open, make plays. Our bigs can set screens. They're good rollers. You know, Shaden and the guys on the wings, Jeremy, they need screens to get open. So we need to screen. So we focused and spent a fair amount of time over the last couple of weeks on just the relationship and the pick and roll. And I think we are getting better there.
What did you think of Shaden's performance, and particularly his ability to kind of get into the paint, or at least hit the three-point line, which is something I know that you guys have talked about this year?
Yeah, I loved his aggression. Offensively, I did. I loved that he was on the attack most of the night. I thought he had a tough night defensively, though. You know, I was hoping he would put two nights together defensively. I didn't think he played very well. Guys kind of ran around him a couple times, very easy with no moves. And that, you know, is not good. You know, he's a much better defender than that. But offensively, yeah, he showed, you know, some of the capable gifts that he has.
Was there anyone that played tonight defensively that you were happy with?
I thought, for the most part, Jeremy did a good job on Wemby. You know, he had him contained for the most part, and then during that little stretch that we talked about at the end of the second quarter there, he broke free for a couple threes that I thought really got him going. In the second half, he just kind of he turned it on. So the first half, I thought we did a good job on him. Second half, he kind of had it his way, but. Yeah, I wouldn't say anybody stood out to me defensively in the game.
And there was Coach Billups following the game in San Antonio. And despite the loss, I think we still have a game ball to hand out. So, Brenden, hit that intro.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls on Fifth Quarter.
All right, if I have to give my game ball to a Blazer, I'm giving it to Shaden Sharp. I like the fact that he was efficient, 11 of 16 from the floor. He had 25 points, threw in a couple rebounds and a steal as well. But I just like the fact that he had the second most shot attempts of the night for the Blazers. And I have been saying that for a while now, that I want to see him be more aggressive. And I thought he was more aggressive with the shots he was taking tonight. Anthony Simons led the way with 22 shot attempts. He made just 7 of them. And again, you're not going to shoot 11 to 16 every single night, but the fact that he was aggressive on that end, I think, is a good thing. Also, even though he played for the opposing team tonight, kind of hard to not recognize Victor Wembanyama. I mean, 10 block shots. I mean, there's teams that don't get 10 block shots in a night. I mean, the Blazers only had 3 of them tonight. So, yeah, that's pretty darn impressive what he was able to do just by himself. I mean, when you're 9 feet tall, makes sense. Hey, college football quarterfinals are set. Looks like we have Oregon and Ohio State, Texas and ASU, Georgia and Notre Dame and Penn State. and Boise State. Man, that sounds fun. Let me tell you what, though, Brendan, before we go,
Yes, sir.
you and I were talking about this, but man, they just need to make every round a home game until the championship. And if I were a decision maker, it would be the Rose Bowl. That would be the de facto championship game. Move the college football season ahead to start earlier. There is no break. You just go straight championship game, conference championship game, very next weekend, first round of the playoffs, so that you can still end at the Rose Bowl. It makes the granddaddy of them all even bigger, right? And you just end it there every single year. Home games all the way through, because I'm just looking at this. I mean, Ohio State at Autzen for a second time in the quarter. That would be phenomenal. Texas going to Arizona State. That'd be phenomenal. I mean, could you imagine the atmosphere at Albertson Stadium getting to host Penn State, a team that would never come play you in a million years
Never.
in a regular season game, but they have to go to Boise in the winter? Oh boy, that sign.
Yeah,
me
no, I can't
up.
wait to see Penn State's faces when they play on the blue
Right.
turf. It'll be fascinating.
All right, or Georgia Notre Dame. Oh, be so nice. That'd be so nice. Instead, we get the Peach Bowl and the Sugar Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl. Boo, boo. I also don't like this. I think it's going to go the way of the Super Bowl, man. Fans are going to be priced out. There's not a lot of fans who can afford to go to a championship game in Indianapolis and then a Rose Bowl. And then if you win to the Orange Bowl or whatever, and then the champion, not a lot of fans are going to be able to do that. That hurts. Game should be for fans, not for the millionaires. End rant. All right, Brendan, I think that's going to do it for us, my man. We got things to do. And
It is that time of year.
It is that time of year. Whew. Thanks for tuning in. Blazers will be back at it again on Monday.
So will we.
5:30 tip-off. Special start time for Blazers game day. We will start at 3 o'clock. We'll go for an hour and a half, a little extended game day action for you. So we'll have some fun there. Brendan will be back with me. We'll definitely talk some college football on that show, Brendan. So come prepared. But right now, though, we're not going to head to Fox Sports like we normally do. We're going to head to Kraken hockey. Currently in the second intermission, the Golden Knights have a 3-1 lead over your Seattle Kraken. Hopefully, and find the net a couple more times here in the third period, and the Seattle Kraken can get a win for all you hockey nuts out there. Brendan and I will see you guys Monday. Stay safe out there. I know the stores are hectic. Traveling is hectic. The roads are hectic. Go stay safe. Get your holiday shopping done. And we will talk to you guys on Monday.